Welcome back to the Team Draft Super League. I'm Justin here with Owen. This is the top four. This is the last round of the top four. Winner will make the finals. Loser is going home. How are you feeling about your chances, Owen?
Well, I feel good because I know how little Magic you've been playing lately. So if ever there was a time for us to beat you is when you're not playing much, and then lose to you is probably before when you were at least playing a little bit. So,
it's bad. It's bad. I never started winning at this format, and then I got to live through everybody deciding it was the greatest format of all time, and so skill testing, and it's like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. I had a remarkably similar experience when Huey won Grand Prix Kyoto and John got top 4, and the rest of us all did really bad, so we got back to the testing house, and the two of them were going like, this format's awesome, and I'm going like, I don't think it's that good. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I skipped the PT, so this is actually the first format since I started playing Pro again that I didn't, or for the first time rather, that I didn't actually go deep and analyze it and figure it out. I did a little bit of that, and then I sort of backed off of it once I started losing and then realized I wasn't going to be playing in the PT, and so I just never got to the level that I usually eventually get to at this point in formats. And so now, I mean, I had a good run in the TDSL up till now, and now I'm calling it in. This one's on the team.
So if you lose, then it's their fault because they know they had heavy lifting to do coming in. They should have tried harder.
Yeah. They should have tried harder to find a better teammate.
Well, I'll tell you this. We're going to watch Matt Severa, and he tried really hard. You can tell how hard he tried because he has Angel of Sanctions and Angel of Condemnation.
That's how the professionals do it.
Yeah, none of our guys tried hard enough to get 2 rares. What the hell's going on there?
Yeah, I very cleverly I opened great rares in packs 2 and 3, totally off color. Had to just de-draft them. One ended up making my deck, but yeah, the openings were not kind to me, and I just really didn't know what I was doing enough. Like even for a regular draft, let alone as skill testing as a team draft is, I think I just kind of got pushed around and left with the cards that nobody else wanted.
But
yeah, I'm much.
Like in team drafts, sometimes you kind of fumble around and don't know what colors you're in because there are no obvious colors to go in. So even though your deck may seem like kind of a mess, everybody's deck is kind of powered down. So I've had that experience feeling that way leaving a team draft, but then you play and your cards are still made of cardboard. Like you can still trade for an opponent's card. You can still like get a good mana curve. Like it doesn't matter. The cards still have value.
Yeah, I agree. All right, it looks like we are ready for some Magic. So we've got Sam against Reid. Let's go.
All right.
All right. Looking at Reid's deck list here, looks like we've got red-black control, very grindy with double Sunset Pyramid. That's going to be his plan, I imagine.
We can tell here that Reid he's either won the die roll or he's going first. It's not clear because I know both of these players really like to choose to draw. I mean, if ever somebody was going to do it, it would be one of these guys. But both players look like they have pretty reasonable opening hands.
Yeah, magic will occur. We at least have that. I like the quality of the cards in Reid's hand quite a bit more at this point.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Reid wants to play a really long game with Torment of Scarabs, and Sam is not interested in playing a long game because he has 1 power creatures for 1 mana.
Yeah, this could be really lopsided in one direction or the other. Like if Reid is not able to, deploy his value and his more expensive stuff, he could get run over really quickly. But if he's able to prolong the game at all, he's just going to squash Sam with his more powerful cards.
Yep, his card quality's through the roof. Bane Whip Punisher is going to produce a 2-for-1. Heart Piercer Mana Core is effectively going to produce a 2-for-1.
Huge land draw there for Reid.
Yep. I'd be loving life here if I was Reid, because even though the Bane Whip Punisher doesn't kill the Slitherblade, it renders it completely useless.
Yep.
And he's still got a 2-2 out of the deal.
Right. It also neutralizes all of the other cards in Sam's hand at the moment, so...
Yeah. Sam's deck is very unique in that I don't know if I've seen a whole lot of decks like it, but also team draft, I mean, all bets are off. You can just win with whatever.
Right. Yeah, and this would be whatever.
Reid was really happy with his deck at the end of the draft. He said my deck is great. I got every black card in the draft. And it looks like that's true.
I don't know what the seating was like. Chat, where was Reid sitting? What was the order? Because it felt like black and red was what I saw none of. So I think Reid was to my right because that just makes the most sense with what I didn't see.
I was passing to Matt, and Matt was passing to Reid, and Reid was passing to you. You were passing to you.
Okay.
You was passing to Sam.
Yeah. So I opened the black Bantu's Last Reckoning pack 2 that I just snapped off because I hadn't seen a black card. So
yeah, I'm sure Reid would be
very glad that's not in Reid's deck with his 2 Sunset Pyramids.
Yeah, I mean, it would be insane.
Black control deck. Then I also third pack Cut to Ribbons. Reid wouldn't have gotten that obviously, but I also had to de-draft that unfortunately.
At least it ended up in your deck. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
We'll see.
I like Sam's decision to play the Desert of the Fervent because the proven combatant in play is already demanding 6 mana to do something, and he just wants to get cards out of his hand as fast as possible for this Thresher Lizard.
That's true. I don't know if you've looked at his deck though. He actually doesn't, I think, have cards that cost more than 3.
Yeah.
Like that flashback on that proven combatant is a bit of a mislead. Like he needs to play a lot of lands he doesn't want to play to be able to do it. So I bet that was actually kind of a hard decision.
Somebody would put it in their deck because they know that it might become a 4/4 at some point, but Sam played it because he knew it would be a 1/1.
He was in the 1/1 for 1 market.
It's kind of busted against Torment of Scarabs. You just get to fog the effect of the Torment of Scarabs for 1 turn and then get a 4/4. That's a bargain.
Yeah, I'm feeling just great about it.
Sam has drafted beautifully around the Torment of Scarabs because he just filled his deck with horrible non-land permanents to sacrifice to it. The effect is useless. You just sacrifice a bad card every turn. That's a 1 Slither Blade. All right, whatever.
Oh man, if only Reid had a mind control in his deck, then wouldn't he look stupid?
Well, this is a pretty complicated combat because there's a lot of potential here for Sam Black. Any of Reid's single blocks are going to get blown out by the Kindled Fury. And only one of his double blocks, the only double block really, is going to look bad too. So I like his decision to take 3. I don't know exactly what he was choosing to play around, but he did a very good job on that one.
Yeah, that's a conservative spot to take and force your opponent to maybe make that attack while you have mana up for your Torment of Venom.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I really don't know what could happen to possibly give Sam even a chance to win this game at this point. Like, it's gotten beyond ridiculous.
I almost just said the exact same thing. I'm like, how could Sam win? His card quality is he's made a 4/4, the Thresher Lizard, and none of his other cards do anything. And Reid has a similar looking board and just 4 first pick quality cards in his hand.
Yeah, Sam's entire strategy is looking very suspect here. Totally outclassed.
Does Sam have any busted cards in his deck he can hope to draw?
Not that I can remember. I'll double check the list, but that's not really the nature of what he's up to.
Ever or just today?
So the top end of cards for him are a couple of on-crop crashers, a Champion of Wits. End of sentence.
Yeah. His best chance of winning involves Champion of Wits and Enigma Drake. Not even Enigma Drake would work. I mean, there's Puncturing Blow. But yeah, just Champion of Wits into hope to draw into really strong cards.
So here's what we were talking about. Reid waited for made a combat when he had mana up and was able to break up Sam's Kindled Fury. Made himself a 2+ for 1.
This is just a perfect example of why Reid is just a phenomenal Magic player. He got attacked by a Thresher Lizard, deduced that Sam had a combat trick in his hand, and then played the rest of the game in a way where he would get a favorable interaction against the combat trick. He didn't block when he didn't have Torment of Venom available, and he forced the issue when he did have Torment of Venom, and he got the 2 for 1. So,
yeah. Now, I mean, all that said, even if that had gone reverse and he had gotten himself blown out by the Kindled Fury, he's still easily winning this game. But
Yeah, no,
you're right that he is great and did play it correctly.
Yeah, I agree. It's not like it takes some master stroke of brilliance to make a play like that, but to be cognizant of the fact that your opponent did something for a certain reason and to make decisions around that. I mean, it's at least the correct play regardless of the strength of your hand.
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, Sam does have 2 4/4s out. I mean, Reid is also at 9. 9 is like a really nice life total because with the Ting wall and being able to get in 4 1 or 2 times, it's sort of you see a way how you could win the game.
Yeah, if everything falls so what needs to happen is if he draws, man. But we're still under the torment too. That's about to start, making progress here.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, the Reid's cards are just too good. And again, there's so little.
It's something.
We still had 2 4/4s.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been one of his best cards if he just had another creature in play.
There's some speculative guaranteed damage, I guess.
Yeah, no question. Sam's making a game of it. He's drawn a pretty reasonable couple of cards. He has a way where he could win.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what burn he has available. There's a Trial of Zeal. He's got a red cartouche. That is... I guess there's one more Fireband Archer if he's only played one of them.
It does appear as if Sam Black draws the Trial of Zeal in this game, he will win.
Yeah, that might be right.
If it's in his top 5 cards, he's probably going to win.
You think he's good for that much damage with what he has? 6, me, yeah, you're probably right. Based on how Reid's gonna have to play this.
I don't think so, but it is possible he takes 4. And then if he chumps, he's sort of losing his ability to deal damage that, it kind of makes sense where the Ting wall could get in enough. I like this block.
I like the block too. I think it's even better if he knew Sam's deck and how Sam needs that 4 damage for the amount of reach that he has to be relevant. Without that 4, it's going to be super hard.
Yep. It's spots like this where I try to tell myself, the book says chump blocking is really bad because you lose a card and you don't get a card out of it, but Sam just used a card, decision paralysis, to try to do 4 damage. So at worst, you exchange resources in that way. It's not like you're just destroying cards. You're trading cards for time, and so is your opponent.
Right.
So
right,
it's not about card advantage.
No, not at all. I mean, that game is over. Reid has won that game. It's just a question of if he can trade enough of that card advantage for life to buy time until Sam is done.
Yep. And what was looking really strong for Sam has not quite picked up.
Well, Easy now has 7 lands of play. Again, that decision paralysis was the absolute top of his curve, less a flashback on the whatever cards have flashback. So
it's honestly the top of his curve mana wise and the top of his power level range. It's the perfect mix of best use of his mana and highest strength ability his cards can make.
Yeah, don't remind me.
I wasn't even trying to say that in a negative way. It's just that if you can imagine a way in which he wins this game, you would think that it would have involved that.
Reid feels comfortable getting aggressive here, and I don't blame him one bit.
Yeah, this is going to work.
Getting aggressive is just getting defensive here because he's taking turns off the game.
Yep.
This is the point where a weaker player, much weaker than Reid, might not realize that what they're supposed to be doing is just closing as fast as possible.
Yep. He knows that he wants to sacrifice one of these creatures, so it doesn't matter whether or not it's tapped.
Yep.
And also he knows that he's destroying Sam's only creature that can attack, so it's not.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that that's what was going on. I forgot that thing could hit creatures.
Yep. Even if it could hit players, putting Sam to 3
wouldn't
with
be bad.
Torment out. It would be totally reasonable. But he had the option there of killing the Spellweaver Elite or the Wall.
Yeah, Sam just draw land. All right, yeah, red cartouche is not going to do it. All right, Sam did make medium of a game of that, but it went kind of the way it looked like it was going to go from the beginning, which is that he just got overpowered. We really needed Reid to like miss that third land drop for a turn, and then we would have been talking.
Look at the way Reid is sideboarding. The first thing he did was he pulled out 3 Canberra Eternals and a Claim to Fame. He just effectively sorted his sideboard by mana curve and just he just wants to lower his mana curve as much as possible because he sees that Sam's up to a Slitherblade strategy.
Right. There's no way that Sam can overpower him. So it's a bad distribution of his resources to be as much about value as he is. In the dark, that's fine because some of the decks you're going to be up against are mid-range decks or ramp decks or whatever, and that's going to be important. Against Sam, you can get by with a fraction of the value. So yeah, you just need to lower your curve, protect your life, and whatever value you're leaving in will still be more than Sam has. Yeah,
I completely agree. It's like Reid didn't see every card in Sam's deck, so he doesn't know the exact mix of cards that he wants. But when you play against a good player like Sam, you know that he's going to want to build his deck with like a strong, cohesive strategy.
It'll be coherent, exactly.
Exactly. He's not going to put Slitherblade in a deck that's trying to win a super long game. So Reid knows he doesn't need to worry about the long game without knowing for a fact that Sam has no long game instead of a some or a week long game.
Right, and the other thing is, I mean, you're right, but it's not even fully contingent on Sam being good. Because if Sam wasn't good, then let's say he was bad and was bad enough to split, then, you have equity off of somebody who put Slitherblade in their late game deck. Like, that's going to cost them enough that it's fine that you, like, slightly mis-sideboarded because their deck is confused. Like, that's going to make up the difference.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I like to look at is I think that the skill influence on the outcome of a match is shortest when the average turn length is really short, because the more turns that you play, the more cards that you see, the more impact that each card is lessened. So when you want to play against a weaker player or a person with a really fast deck, you just want the game to last longer so you actually get to play.
You're absolutely correct. I was saying the exact same thing when I was doing my first hosting after having played you guys in the first round. I was talking about that draft, and I was like, look, guys, PG, the average skill level on PGO is so far ahead of me that I felt like I'm basically in that position. So I pretty aggressively took a synchronized strike, and I was like, look, if this is not about getting better. If you want to get match wins against better players, shave turns off the game. Don't take Warfire Javelin here and play a long, grindy control game against a player who's much better than you. Make the game be short and minimize their ability to leverage their skill.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, but I don't quite think it's that extreme.
It may not be, but it always feels that extreme.
Yeah. Well, Sam has a fantastic hand, and he's on the play.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
If I was Sam, I would be in a spot right now where I just had kind of an embarrassing first game, and I would just be thinking, now this is more like it.
Yep.
This is what he had in mind when he drafted these cards, and it's coming together just beautifully.
Oh, love all of this.
Yep.
Is there any consideration for using the Unquenchable Thirst there?
My instinct was to cast it. Now, weirdly, he's cast.
Oh, now he's post-combat misadamaged?
Well, I mean...
Very loose.
All right.
Missing damage is always bad. With this kind of a deck, come on, Sam.
Sam, you're better than that. All right. We're going to pretend like that didn't happen.
Right. Unless we lose, then he'll never forget it. I'll make sure.
I mean, You would want to have thought more about what you were doing that turn to avoid a mistake like that, but Sam is the exact kind of player who will just swallow his pride and determine that it's still the best use of his mana, still will give him the best chance to win the game, and so...
Absolutely.
There's even spots like that where you could try to sort of convince yourself and go maybe the Thirst will be better later, but no, it still just plays it.
Yeah, no, it's important not to be too... I don't want to go too far into it, but I had a really significant moment like that in my PT top 8, actually, where I thought I was locking out the game by Summoner's Pacting for a Hornet Queen, but I realized that if I got Fulminator Maged, I was just dead, and I couldn't pay for my pact, so I had to just eat it and not cast it, and use up my Tendo Ice Bridge, and it was super, super awkward, and the game went on, and it looked horrendous, and the game went on forever after that, and nobody could understand why I just didn't get prime time and win, and it was really embarrassing, but I just sucked it up and didn't play it, and played longer, and eventually won.
Yeah, I actually remember that game. It was pretty interesting. This was a close decision for Sam last turn whether or not he should have went with the Thorned Moloch or Uncrop Crasher. I think I would have rather have gone for the Crasher, and he didn't save it with Unsummon.
That was interesting.
So he's just saying, I'm gonna burn you dead.
Right.
3. Reid's at 8.
Reid's only doing one thing at once for like this whole game, so it might work.
Burn like, you dead looks like it's gonna work.
Yeah, it's gonna be forever before Reid gets to do 2 things.
Yeah. It actually works out much better for Sam.
Yeah, if Sam draws a long string of lands here, he might lose, but I mean, the Eternal is guaranteed damage, so that's, unless that gets electrified, like the Slither Blade eventually is going to need like a removal spell. Like, it's not like Reid's going to start gaining life.
If Sam was to draw a basic land and Reid was to draw a basic land, I think Reid is going to win.
That's slightly better than a basic.
I don't know. He doesn't need much to win from here. He really doesn't.
Yeah. Reid doesn't have anything. Was there? I wasn't looking closely enough at the sideboard. Did he have anything with Blazing Volley? That's something that can be pretty. Okay.
I think there was none of that in the draft.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing one. It's a pretty potent sideboard card against a couple of decks, including this one.
Yep. I like Reid's chances if you can make 2 creatures here. Very bad.
Yeah, that's infinitely worse than an untapped land.
It's almost irrecoverably bad.
I think it is. Like, he's just going to kill... Like, he's taking 4 guaranteed, right?
He's going to take 4 to 1, and then the next turn he could theoretically cast 2 spells. And
but Sam has 3 guys.
Well, he's still going to have the 2/3,
it's a blocker.
Yeah.
Right,
and he could go like Manticore, sack my camel at your Slither Blade.
I was thinking he was using removal, not going up a guy. Okay, that'll do it.
Yeah, that Sinuous Striker is extremely tough to beat.
Way to draw exactly 4 lands, Sam.
I forget if Reid has any lifelink or like sweep. I don't think he has any sweepers.
I de-drafted the 3/4 lifelinker with 2 cards in the pack. It was not an accident.
Was probably a very good decision. I actually like that card quite a bit. I usually play it.
It seems like the card that would gain a lot in this format, like in junky, like creature match. Like, it's just like I have a bunch of 3/3 for 3 in my deck, and I was just like, ugh.
It's definitely a fact that it's better in a team draft. Okay, well, Reid is dead and gone.
All right, this one point we missed didn't matter, except for, pride.
It mattered in that Reid's at 1, but no, it did not change the outcome of the game. If I was Reid, I would be feeling really unlucky that it was my Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs that got hit with Unquenchable Thirst, because usually with the Manticore you can like try to get card advantage there, but not this time.
True.
All right, well, Sam just completely destroyed Reid that game. Reid barely even put up his gloves. He just got knocked out.
Being on the play, obviously, just a massive deal in this matchup, or really any matchup with the deck that Sam's playing.
He was on the play with probably one of the best hands you could get with his deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he stopped drawing at 4 lands, and he still... Like, he didn't almost lose, but he could have lost.
Yes, definitely. Neither player looks like they improved much after sideboard.
Yeah, this is a spot where if you're like, in it for a different deck. So we talked about how Reid was bringing his deck down. If Sam were a different deck, there's some argument for bringing your deck up and having more larger guys in your deck to try to compete. But the problem is that, and we see him looking at exactly that now that he's on the draw, he's considering that. And I was wondering if you're not really going to want to do that on the play. And it's tough even on the draw with his deck because it's so, like, is he winning that game? Even if he like has a bigger guy or so, like Reid's cards are just so much stronger on average. But it looks like it's what he's going with. If he submitted it, I'm not actually sure that he did.
He did.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's one of those things that because Reid wants the game to last a long time, you're much more likely to just draw into 5 lands organically. It's not like you play beatdown on beatdown where the game's going to end before you draw your 5th land. Like, he knows when he puts a 5-mana card in his deck, if he draws it, he'll almost always be able to cast it. Yep. And the power's kind of there. I mean, it's a fine card.
No, there aren't bad cards that he added to the deck, but
One thing that's nice about
Sam
the Manticore Elemental is that it always does 3 damage, unless it was to die. So if you could just burn someone out with it.
Yeah. No, it's a good card. It's not like Sam's deck is too good for it. He just, chose to play 15 lands. And it's a little light deck, and so you have to make sacrifices. Sam is missing a color here.
Do you like Reid's decision to leave in Torment of Scarabs?
It's tough. I mean, without looking more closely at what he left it in over, I'm not sure. Sam has, like you pointed out, a couple of cards Sam has that it's good against. Reid should know about the trial also now. Or no, he doesn't know about it because he hasn't seen it and they don't have lists. But there's that. There's the proven combatant, like you mentioned. I don't love it. I think I would rather I'd rather 4s that affect the board. I don't think he needs it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would be disinclined. But without knowing what he left it in over, I can't say with any confidence.
This looks like the kind of game where it would be great, but Sam has drawn multiple cards that kind of work well against it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it plays out, but it could go either way.
Right. Soulstinger is sort of a naturally strong card against Sam's deck since it, all of his creatures trade for both sides of it. So
that is true. It is a great card against Sam's deck, but it's not a great card against Sam's draw because he has On-Crop Crasher and Cartouche of Zeal.
True. If he's not able to leverage it, it'll be a problem.
Yep.
Reid hasn't drawn anything in the way of interaction is a thing Sam has going for him.
Well, one thing I like about Reid's hand is he taps out every turn. He's playing his cards very efficiently, which is good. And that's the kind of hand you want to have in a game where you have the Torment of Scarabs. I understand why Reid is thinking for a long time here because almost all of his cards have optionality. He can do 2 things with every one of his cards. But I would just cast Soul Stinger in a land. I guess what do you do with the Soul Stinger? You can put 2 counters on the camel and then have a huge creature and then make your opponent discard a card.
Or the problem there is the bounce that is in Sam deck. Like there's at least one unsummon. Oh, well, he's going for it anyway.
I don't hate it. I see what Reid's doing. He has Desert Ceradan and Soul Stinger where he says either you take a bunch of damage and the Torment of Scarabs is going to add up, or you chump block and you have less resources to sacrifice to the Torment of Scarabs.
Yeah, maybe so.
But Sam looks like he's going to fire back. Oh,
yeah. I don't like only having one guy against a deck. Well, so I guess he didn't see Red Cartouche either. So I keep forgetting that Reid doesn't have lists, so I have to remember which cards he has seen and hasn't. But like against cards like Crasher and Cartouche, you kind of want to be wide with defense. He's really trying to maximize this tournament and trying to force Sam into a corner, but it's a little bit playing into like the way Sam needs this game to go, which is to say fast.
Yeah. Sam's hand has been like unusually strong against this kind of opening from Reid. Like it's kind of exactly what he wanted to see happen.
Yeah, Reid's playing this game in a way where like the Sunset Pyramid is basically never going to do anything until he's already won.
Is Reid even capable of winning the game? Like, looks like he's going to
decision paralysis, backbreaking. Yeah, this decision paralysis is pretty much checkmate. Wow. Jeez.
Like, the way the only way that I can see that Reid could win is if he just kills both of the creatures that Sam has, but I mean, decision paralysis into Trial of Zeal looks like it's going to be more than enough damage.
Yeah, wow. That snuck up on me. Oh, you did say it was the most powerful card in his deck.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just awesome against this hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing, like when you were asking me what I thought about Reid leaving in Torment of Scarabs, this is why you were asking. Mm-hmm. It did not work for him here. Oh, there's one removal spell.
Yeah, but
Kindled Fury plus Trial is either. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whew.
And it seems like Matt Severa beat Huey, so we're going to be down 0-2. I did say it was going to be quick.
I summoned the team powers, and I guess they came through for me.
Yeah, we're hoping that you're going to be 0-3 so that they're front-loading their wins, but it's actually still going to be close.
Right. Maximum drama.
That's what I'll tell myself, at least.
Well, I can't say that you're likely to be wrong based on my deck.
All right, well.
All right, 2-0. Was that confirmed? Was the in the other match? Is that over? Okay, yeah, that's confirmed. Sam got the best of, or Matt got the best of Huey as well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling pretty good. All right. All right. Looks like we got a few more commercials, and then hopefully I'll be able to run up the score a little more.
Yep. See you next round.
Looking for a challenge? Magic Online offers